Hello everybody, welcome into my channel. My name is Jer. We are going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 7, Episode 9, Dance Like a Drag Queen. Did I get all that right? I did that in one take. Last week, Jada Essence Hall was blocked, and I want to revise a statement that I made last week. I did not understand her strategy. I was like, what is she trying to do? I saw this TikTok that helped explain everything, and this girl basically mathed all the math. That what Jada was saying in a roundabout way was, why block me? Because I'm pretty much already going to make it to the top 4 by the amount of stars I have now, unless a twist happens. Why would you block me when I'm already going to get there when you could block other people who are not quite there yet? So you could block someone who's competition if you want to make sure that you get ahead, you want to stop somebody in their tracks, like Jinx or Viv, Monet, Trinity. Someone who is probably going to end up getting to that top 4 spot. You want to halt one of them, not someone who's already got it. So I did a series of complicated math, which I don't know if I'll be able to show on the screen, but essentially, the way that the stars are working out right now, the only way that anyone would be able to beat out Jada at this point would be if the same 2 people, or the same 3 people, won the next 3 challenges. Jinx and Monet won the stars this episode. Unless there's some type of steal a star situation, or some type of double star situation, it's gonna end up getting really even at some point, and there's going to be a very distinct battle for those other spots, but Jada's got it right now, which makes sense why she made that comment. She just didn't explain it right. So the challenge this week is not only a branding challenge, but it's also a challenge to create viral videos in the style of like TikTok or Vine. During the walkthroughs, Ru is lobbing watermelons at these queens. They're going in with very vague concepts, and honestly, I don't think a lot of them quite understood what the assignment was gonna be. And so Ru's like taking these big concepts and chucking them at them and being like, here, catch. And it's so easy for them to hit. And I think it did affect the actual scenes themselves. And one in particular that was a little bit frustrating for me, but I'll get into that. Let's get into the videos. The dancers, the male ones, so hot. I need both their ads. Some of the queens had really strong concepts going in. I think what Jinx wanted to do with kind of recreating the cinnamon challenge was very, very smart. It shows that Jinx is always thinking one step ahead of everybody else. A lot of the other ones were trying to think of cute ideas, funny ideas, things that'd be funny, things that would get the judge's attention. Jinx was thinking, I can't dance. I don't know how to create a dance, so I'm gonna create something that's not that. If the intention is to create a viral video that other people will want to create, that cinnamon challenge was so stupid, but yet everyone and their mothers was doing it because everyone wanted a chance to do the stupid thing. This week's guest judge is Ben Platt, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the person who Ruth thought was named Dear in Dear Evan Hansen. Just need a minute for that. Big get. Glad they got him. Weird choice for this challenge. Like, why not for the first challenge, like the singing one? I don't know. So the runway category was What Lies Beneath. We've done this type of challenge a couple times before. Shay did this very cute 30s feather outfit, and in her aside, she was talking about how she was gonna go meet up with Marlena Dietrich. And I thought that was such a cute reference to Sasha. It made me so happy to hear it because my mind immediately knew what she was talking about. Jada came out in this like carpet bag outfit. Having gone to nightclubs for several years, this is the outfit that the queens walk out in when you know there's a reveal underneath. I don't know what the intention is because it's not a subtle reveal, but it's the standard drag queen. I've got something underneath this. What is it? But underneath was a really fun concept. She did all 4 seasons. They were all very beautiful. Viv did a hag look into a beautiful queen look, which was blue again. I don't want to come off like I'm hating any of these queens. Did Viv not look at her repertoire of clothes and go, huh, I'm the Tina Burner of this season. I brought all one color scheme. It was a beautiful look. Into the Woods is a favorite musical of mine, so I really loved the reference. It was just very well executed. And even her coming out, her posture changed from when she took off the hag outfit into the queen outfit. Everything about her demeanor changed, so she really sold it. Raja came out in this like funky pink flamingo outfit. It was very camp for Raja. Evie came out as a moth, and initially I looked at it and I thought, oh, that seemed kind of simple, but the way that she sold it on the runway really did it for me. And I think the idea of coming out as a bug and transforming, coming out of her cocoon, as Jasmine Masters might say, and transforming and metamorphosizing on the runway into this beautiful creature with this what looked like to be a 3D printed mask that was moving on her face was so cool and intelligent. It was so on brand for Evie. Jinx came out and was the only one who did 4 looks, and Jinx did all different pieces of art. And as I was looking at them, I was starting to recognize what styles they were. It was so intelligent, so well done. It was very thought out for what Jinx has been delivering. Monet came out and sold a story. She did a Harriet Tubman look into a Black Panther look, and then went into a Black Lives Matter look. The story itself was very important and it needed to be told. And what is nice about drag is that because it's a bucking of the trend and it's where glamour and politics meet, because drag is inherently political, bringing a story like this to the runway is super important. My only bummer with it is I wish that there was more time devoted to the first and the last look. I thought the Black Panther look was very pretty, but it was just a pretty dress. So if she had come out and done a little more Harriet Tubman, walked maybe a quarter of the way down the runway and then revealed, and then maybe was in that until she got to the end, and then switched into the Black Lives Matter look as she walked to the left and the right, that would have been super impactful. Trinity came out as a flower. It was pretty simple. I mean, the first look was beautiful. I loved the silhouette. It is something we've already seen from her, but she did it in a new way. Okay, so let's talk about the videos. So Shea was gorgeous, first off. This yellow was stunning. Calling the video the Shakedown with her name incorporated in it was so smart. I think it was very on brand for Shea. It was a very solid top 3 performance for me. Jada performed Sissy That Walk. It was so silly and empty-headed. The look over there reference was nice. I think overall it was cute. It was a safe performance for me. Viv did another play on her name. She called it the Vivio. She performed to Born Naked, and it was a very silly video. What I appreciated was that it paid attention to the boys and their armpits, and I was here for that. If this were a regular season of Drag Race, I feel like it would have been a bottom performance. Raja performed to Glamazon, and it was very odd. She sort of did this like really scripted grandma type character. These are totally the people of a certain age on TikTok who make intentional living videos. Hello, kiddo. I'm just checking in on you, making sure to show off my brand new earrings that I just got that are centering me with the world. And I want to remind you that you too can manifest good things into your life. Like, it was very that. I was buying into it. It met the criteria. Okay, so then we move on to Evie Oddly. And Evie performed to Lick It Lollipop, and this was the best one. This was a top 2 performance for me. It was so perfect. The Just Another Jehovah's Witness line made me cackle. I literally had to like pull my headphone out to make sure that I was moderating my voice because I was watching it at 3 in the morning. Jake was asleep. I knew that I couldn't be like screaming in the middle of the night. It was so funny and it was so on brand. Her use of the dancers in the background, having them play these kind of awkward kids, using Queerdo as her big buzzword. It was so perfectly in line for Evie, and she looked absolutely stunning. The dance itself was something that I feel like people could actually try to learn. It felt like it would go viral. This was a top 2 and it should have been top 2. And then we have Jinx, the internationally tolerated drag queen. It was giving me a little Varla Jean Merman. Everything about it was perfection for Jinx. And again, as someone who can't dance, bucking the trend and doing something completely different was so smart. If I were on Drag Race and I had a challenge like this would be my first thought, would be to do something that was not dancing, because I knew that I wouldn't have a strength in it. And right now you have to be focused on winning. I also loved the, if your kid wants a snack, they can get a goddamn job. We're gonna be quoting this for a while, I think. And then we have Monet, who performed to Freaky Money. And this performance, Monet looked gorgeous. She looked absolutely stunning. This hair looked perfect on her. The outfit was nice. The dance was fun. My problem with it was tenfold. And maybe I'll get into that during the critique. You know what? hell? I'm gonna get into it right now. So Monet did not go in with a concept. Monet went in with this really messy idea, and Ru threw this idea at her and was like, well, you should do this because you're Monet, and then you should do this because you're getting paid. And Ru gave her the idea, and everybody else went in with a concept. I'm not trying to shit on Monet at all, because I think Monet is stunning, and I definitely think that she should have won a previous challenge. Monet should have been in the top 2 during the girl group challenge, in my opinion. It was sort of like when they knew that Lanesha killed it in season 5 in the first episode, so they gave her the lip sync for whatever reason. It felt like that. It was like, this was not the week that Monet should have been rewarded. And I felt that way about Raja last week. It sort of feels like they're realizing we gave stars to the wrong queens a couple times, so we have to give them stars to make up for the fact that we didn't give it to them on the challenge they rightfully should have won, which leads me to believe that Evie's probably gonna win a star next because she should have gotten one this time. Anyway, I'm detracting. Monet was funny. Hello, surprise cat. Finally, we have Trinity, who performed to the realness. It was so perfectly empty-headed. It was so perfectly Trinity. There were 2 big, giant problems though. One, she already portrayed this character last week, so it was less funny this time around. They're not giving any negative critiques this season, but that did hurt her in my opinion. It made it less funny. And then it also made it less funny that this is the exact thing that she did for her All-Stars 4 talent show. And I know that Ben gave her a very lovely critique about how she could do the same thing again and again, and she's found new ways to innovate it, and it doesn't get boring or repetitive. In my opinion, I thought this was a less funny version of what she did in All-Stars 4. But Ru doesn't remember that she did it in All-Stars 4. Ru doesn't even remember what season she came from or what her original name used to be. So I guess it doesn't matter in the long run. So my top 3 were Jinx, Evie, and Shay. They were absolutely stunning both in the challenge and on the runway. The judges, however, gave the win to Jinx and Monet. I think that Evie should have been in the top 2 because Evie went in with an actual concept. Evie knew what she wanted to do and she executed it perfectly. Monet did not have a concept going in, and her original concept were like 4 different things. And that's been Monet's problem every time on Drag Race, is she just has too many thoughts going on and she can't edit them down. But when Ru gave her the critique, she edited it and made it what Ru wanted. And I don't always think that should be rewarded. That's just me. And I feel like there have been other times where queens did something like in the Snatch game or in a bowl or in an acting challenge that wasn't super innovative or interesting, but because it was Ru's idea, they won the challenge. And I don't know. So then the lip sync. This lip sync. This is an iconic piece of drag culture. Every single drag queen that I know that is a big name queen has done a part of this monologue at some point. I have a very good friend named Borgia Bloom who did this, and she did it in the most sickening way. She brought the house down, standing ovation, like people were cheering and screaming and throwing money at her from all around. It was incredible. This lip sync was so good, and I hope to God they do more spoken word lip syncs because this was amazing. And again, I do not want it to come across like I'm saying anything bad about Monet, but I personally thought that Jinx did a stronger job because Jinx had levels. As a drag queen, as a former drag queen, I should say, when you do spoken word, you need to have levels so that you keep your audience engaged. If you start at one level and you just stay there the whole time, eventually it's like, well, I know what she's gonna do. She's gonna do this and she's gonna do that and then blah, 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 you know? And so when you start out kind of poised and demure, when you do something crazy and manic and you move your hands in a certain way and you be dramatic and you flare your eyes and your eyebrow goes up and you're shaking, it's a little more eye-catching because it's like, oh, what? I gotta look again. I gotta go see what she's doing. Because it's so easy to have your eyes wander in a spoken word part because you can kind of just not focus. Where in a dance, you wanna know what dance moves they're gonna do. You wanna see how they're moving their body when certain lyrics come up, what hand movements they do. Spoken word you can kind of check out of. It's very easy to check out of it. It's impressive as fuck when someone does a great spoken word, but you're not always paying attention. I thought Monet's intensity through the whole thing was a little bit easy for me to check out of, like, I know what she's gonna do. The winner of the challenge was Monet, and she blocked Raja, which I don't know if this is the right move. I personally would have blocked either Viv or Trinity, which Monet was never gonna block Trinity, but I would have blocked Viv because Viv is very strong. Viv has been on a really great incline the entire time, according to the judges. They love everything she does, and she would have had 3 stars by now if she hadn't been blocked. So I would take that as a threat that Viv could end up there again. Viv has the chops to do it, so I would want to stop her. Or even Evie. As I'm thinking about the seasons and how they're organized, I would assume that either the last 3 challenges are going to be a roast, because we haven't had one, or some type of comedy, stand-up comedy thing. There's gonna probably be one more ball or sewing challenge or a makeover. There are things that we have not seen yet, so I would assume one of those things are coming up. Now, if we're assuming it's a makeover, Raja didn't win her season makeover. I would want to pin it on somebody who I think would do really, really, really well. Viv or Trinity would be on my radar. So I do think Monet made a mistake, especially considering that the trailer for next week shows that we are going into a roast. So this is 100% a Jinx top 2. I think Monet's gonna do pretty good. This could potentially be another Jinx Monet showdown. Monet did really, really well during her roast of Lady Bunny. There are a couple people who I have really high hopes for, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So right now, Jinx and Jada both have 3 stars. Who is gonna make it up there to the top 4 with them? I think right now it's pretty secure that the 2 of them are gonna be in there. We are coming to a point in the competition where there's gotta be a twist. Because if certain people win this next challenge or the next one, it's going to really make it hard to pick a top 4, because there's gonna be 5 or 6 girls that all have the same amount of stars. So there's gonna have to be a steal a star or a double star situation coming up soon in order to even out the odds. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts were in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.